fellow Toastmasters and guests, welcoming you all to the 217th meeting of our Vellore Toastmasters Club. The mission of every Toastmasters Club is to provide a positive and supportive learning experience where members are empowered to develop their leadership and communication skills, leading to greater self-confidence and personal growth. We have 3 ground rules to be followed in every Toastmasters Club. Number 1 is put your mobiles in silence mode. I'll give you 5 seconds to do that. Number 2, you can enter and exit the venue only if you hear the sound of applause. And the last one, have fun and interact with each other. With no further delay, I would like to call the presiding officer for today, Toastmaster Carolyn.
Thank you so much, Sergeant at Arms. With the resounding of the gavel, I declare meeting number 217 open. Very warm good morning to our Toastmasters, and we have a guest today. So how have all of you been doing over the last couple of days? Since I think it's been 2 weeks since I saw all of you. How are you all doing? Are you doing great? Great. So to add to our collection, this is what we received in Discover for Excellence in Training Award, which was given to us because our club had actually been nominated and we were recognized for excellence in our educational training. So big round of applause to Toastmaster John and Toastmaster Charanya, who have been spearheading the education department. And now I would like to ask our guests to please come forward and tell us where you come from, what you do, and how you got to know about Toastmasters.
Hi, myself Vignesh. I am from Katpadi, Gandhinagar. I am working as a GDS in Katpadi RMS, as well as I am taking classes in coaching academy.
Welcome, Vignesh. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, once in Japan, in the railway station, there was a person who suddenly boarded off the train and realized that he couldn't find his purse. Okay? Have you had that feeling? Have you lost something in a strange place? You know what the feeling is? It's like you're clueless, you really don't know what to do. And when he was looking helter-skelter and not knowing what to do, suddenly out of the blue, a person had come and had handed over a pouch. So in that pouch was sufficient money for him to get back to his place. There was a bottle of water to calm him down, and there was a card saying, "Take care." Many years later, what this person did was, he goes out to start an organization called Thank You Stranger, where in many of these places, bus stops, where there is potential pickpocketing, or people carelessly they lose their belongings. He started this thing called Thank You Stranger. So many people benefit and many people give back in different ways to the fraternity that helps. Similarly, in Toastmasters, we learn a lot, and knowledge that is accumulated will rot. Like today's food is not going to stale without going stale for long. So it has to be used. So as best as you can, whatever you learn within the 4 walls here and in the larger community, share it. When you share it, doubles, triples. You grow and you help little plants grow along with you. So that is the kind of hand holding and support that you get from the Toastmasters fraternity. So now, without any further ado, I would like to hand over the stage to the Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Bharat.
Thank you, President Toastmaster Cal. So yesterday what I found is the toughest thing is not RCB lifting the IPL trophy, but playing the role of Toastmaster of the day after being inactive for a while. I had a really tough time in preparing. Great. So IPL, Indian Premier League. So firstly, how many of you have not watched an IPL match in your life so far? Oh, we have 3 people. Okay, that's really exciting to see that some of the people have not watched IPL, which is more curious, and which is the thing that I did not expect it actually from the questions. Great. So, and actually, when it comes to when we are coming to this world of cricket, we all go together and support our nation, India, for lifting the World Cup. But when it comes to the IPL, it becomes a different drama. Even your best friend will become your worst enemy in supporting teams, and you'll go and do a divorce with your sibling in the relationship. And most importantly, when you have a girlfriend who is a fan of a different team, trust me, life is not going to be bed of roses, because I have experienced it. So life will go so crazy during the time of this IPL. You will be fighting for the TV remote, and you'll sleep late in the night, and most importantly, you don't even focus on the exams. And especially me, what I did when I was taking my SSLC examination is, the IPL final was just right after the day of my science examination. So I had 2 options. Either I have to choose IPL or I have to choose science examination. Guess what I did? Exactly. And I was watching the whole match without leaving a single ball, and the next day I attended the exam. Guess what happened? Yeah, I scored 97 out of 100.
I scored 100 out of 100.
And don't take me as an inspiration, and don't teach your kids. Well, so today I am wearing this jersey, and I think some of you might have already guessed that I am a fan of varsity, isn't it? No? But I'll tell you I am a fan of which team in the end. You all might have not guessed it. It may be completely wrong. I'll tell you in the end. Yeah. So now, when it comes to supporting teams, we all have different opinions. And today, I am wearing this RCB jersey to pay a special tribute to the most loyal team and the most loyal fans in this world. And every year, they say, Sala Cup Namdu. And finally, after 18 years, it's officially for them to say, Sala Cup Namdu. And yeah, so let's deep dive into all these things. And before that, you all might be knowing that we have been mocking all these RCB fans, the CSK fans mocking RCB, and Mumbai Indians fans mocking RCB. And mostly, what do they mock? Any guesses? For the cup. So how can you drink your tea when you don't have a cup? And in return, RCB has also marked CSK. Does anyone remember something? Kannan Devan tea pudding? CSK. Right? Well, so now let's deep dive into all these things, because now we are going to invite a person who is a very special, because he is going to into the overall team is going to guide, correct, improve, making us improve by giving his wise suggestions. So it's none other than a coach of a team. So today we have some coach kind of person in our meeting. That's none other than the general evaluator for today's meeting, Toastmaster Ramesh.
Good morning, all of you.
Good morning.
So, after a long time, I'm just playing the role of general evaluator. For the benefit of guests, general evaluator is a role of a quality manager in an organization, where we critically look into the areas for improvement, where things have gone right, where things have not gone right, and we'll just critically evaluate the entire proceedings of the Toastmasters meeting, right from the start till the very end. And we'll be giving you very constructive feedback on the ways we can improve it further during the coming sessions. And to do this, I have a wonderful team called Tag Team, which is Timer, R Counter, Grammarian, and the Listener. And I'll call one by one over here. They will come here. They are all masters in that area. They will tell you in detail what is the role they are going to play and the importance of the role. And for that, I would like to call the first Toastmaster Santosh, our timer.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Hello, fellow Toastmasters. I am the timer for today's meeting. I am here to remind you the importance of time. So, the time limit for the icebreaker speech is 4 to 6 minutes. At 4 minutes, I will show the green card. At 5 minutes, yellow. At 6 minutes, red. For the prepared speech, the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, green card. 6 minutes, yellow. 7 minutes, red. And you have a 30 seconds of buffer time after the red card. So you can talk up to 7 minutes, 30 seconds. If you talk more than that, you will disqualify. For the table topic, the time limit is 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, green. 1 minute 30 seconds, yellow. 2 minutes, red. You have 30 seconds of buffer time, like 2 minutes 30 seconds. And for the evaluation, the time limit is 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, green. 2 minutes 30 seconds, yellow. 3 minutes, red. And also you have 30 seconds of buffer time. So over to you, General Evaluator.
The next role player is Toastmaster Carolyn. She will be playing the role of R Counter. And ma'am is an expert in not just spelling out R. And she is the right person to just calculate the number of R's that we all spell it out.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So as an R counter, my role would be to keenly observe the filler words that are being used by each of the speakers here. A small suggestion, and all of these come when we do not know what we are going to say. So even if you're a very seasoned Toastmaster, if there is a long break, you coming and being on the stage, you are very nervous. So deep breathing really helps with calming your nerves and helping you focus with what you have to say. So make it, don't need to use very flamboyant and too complicated sentences. Try as best to use simple sentences and take breaths in between so that you avoid your R's, ums and all the other filler words. So I'll be listening. Solriya mama, solriya mama.
Now we have the grammarian role going to be played by Toastmaster Ranjita. It is always easy when you have a seasoned Toastmasters playing this role because they will forgive us at some times. But our Toastmaster Ranjita is going to be a very strict officer in grammar, and we need to be very, very cautious. Whatever we spell it out wrongly, and she is going to capture it, and she will come here while giving her report, You'll all be facing the music of this. Thank you.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. Today, I am your grammarian. My role is to listen the usage of proper language throughout the meeting. I will listen for powerful vocabulary and interesting phrases, and as well as attractive sayings or memorable quotes used in this meeting. And I will also note down the incorrect usage of grammar, and I try to avoid filler words repeatedly. It's my responsibility to introduce the word of the day, that is tenacious. Yes. This is the word of the day, tenacious. It's an adjective. In noun we can say tenacity. Tenacious, which means persistent, to be determined, or not giving up easily, not letting go things easily. So for example, I am tenacious in my goal to do an internship this month. Another example, I am tenacious about getting placed in my on-campus drive. I encourage all the Toastmasters to use this word during your speeches or roles today. At the end of the meeting, I will come up with my report. Let's enjoy the session. Thank you.
The final role player is going to be Toastmaster Samuel. I'm sorry. So Toastmaster Samuel, he is going to play the role of a listener. And last week we had one-on-one battle during a prepared speech. And he has exhibited the art of listening, because he has listened to so many number of speeches, and when it came to his turn over here the last week, he mastered the entire stage, and he's a very good leader in that particular area, and he is going to listen to all the speeches that we are going to deliver right now, and end of the session he is going to ask us a lot of questions. Be prepared to face the music. Over to you.
Good morning, guys. Actually, my general evaluator is saying all of my roles and so, from my side, why we should take listener role? I just say that if you take my other teammates like timer, grammarian, accountant, you cannot use them other than in stage. You can't go in correct the speeches of grammatical errors of a regular person in your regular life. You cannot time your speeches in regular life. You cannot count the hours in your regular life, but you can be a good listener in your regular life. So please listen to the speeches, and I will be asking you the questions at the end. Thank you.
So that was the brief introduction of my tag team. I now hand over the stage to Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Vani.
Thank you, Coach, for beautifully introducing our team. And now it's time for starting the real game. We have three batsmen waiting to start their innings. They are prepared, practiced well, and they are ready to make a big innings today on this stage. And if I go to the first speaker, actually she is making a debut today. And all the very best to you, Toastmaster Kalaivani. And before calling the first speaker on stage, I'd like to call the evaluator, the bowler, who is going to challenge the batsman with his skills. So the evaluator for Toastmaster Kalaivani is Toastmaster Abhidasha.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. My target speaker is Toastmaster Kalaivani. Her pathway is Presentation Mastery, Level 1, Project 1. And I request Kalaivani to feel like a captain of the team, and we are here, your team members, to listen to. All the best. Over to Toastmaster.
Thank you, evaluator, for beautifully describing the speech objectives. Now I'd like to call our first batsman, Toastmaster Kalaivani. So So Toastmaster Kalaivani, twists and turns. Twists and turns, Toastmaster Kalaivani.
I'll provide you a list of cities or towns where I have lived. Can you guess my birth city? Chennai, Bangalore, Vellore, Tenkasi, Srivilliputturu, Kanyakumari. I was born in the city of Chennai. Hi everyone, good morning. I am Kalaivani Ayyappan. I am thrilled to be here today for the ice-breaking session. I was born in the vibrant city of Chennai. While I was growing there, my parents pulled the first twist. That's why the title is Twists and Turns. Due to my dad's tumbling business, we had to pack our bags and move to Tenkasi. It is nestled near Kutralam, where the nature showers washes away all our worries. I studied there till my 12th standard. After high school, I embraced the world of pharmacy and enrolled myself into Kalasalingam College of Pharmacy, Trivedhan. Subsequently, after graduation, like Bangalore Days movie, everyone wants to go to Bangalore and pursue their dreams. Even I moved to Bangalore and started my career as a QA chemist in a pharmaceutical company. While the career was on the race, my parents put the second twist. They won't keep quiet. They will be pulling the twist. Yes, I got married. Now I can report you that I have happily settled in Vellore. It's my husband's native place. If you wonder, all our roots trace back to Kanyakumari. We are happily married. We are not relatives. After my daughter entered into my world, my life revolved around her, but I couldn't ignore my career ambitions. After a successful interview in CMC, I started to work as a research coordinator in radiotherapy department, CMC. It was a year-long project, but magically turned into 5. Like a happy story that did not have ending at all. But suddenly there was an unpredictable twist. Suddenly the project ended abruptly without no permanent job or extension to me. It was a fairy tale that didn't have a happily ever after. Suddenly I found myself in an entangled twist. A jobless woman with the twist which I did not see coming. After 4 months of uncertainty, I moved to Bangalore for a job fair. I attended a job fair in Bangalore, a company called Quintex. It is a contract research organization. I attended the interview with great fear and excitement. That was my first corporate job. Even though I had worked previously, that was my first corporate job. Somehow, after clearing all the 3 rounds of interview, I joined there as a clinical data coordinator. Now picture this every week, commuting between Vellore and Bangalore. Like a traveler on a quest, seasoned traveler on a quest. It was a journey of 2.5 years. But luckily there was another twist. I got transitioned into a home-based job for the same role. So even before Corona, like from 2015, I had been working as a home-based employee. From 2015 till 2024, I was a home-based employee. But I was handling multiple projects. It was like juggling torching flames while riding unicycle. Challenging, it exhilarating. But slowly there was a chaos in the leadership and mismanagement started creeping. And my daughter was nearing her 12th exams. Needless to say about the stress level, it was high all the time. But suddenly, again there was a twist, happy twist. I got an interview call from Johnson & Johnson, the world's #1 pharmaceutical company. I manifested for that, but that came into reality. The universe heard my prayers and thoughts. and after clearing the interview, I joined JLJ in April 2024. Now also I navigate to the railroad track of hybrid model because I have to work for 2-3 days in my Bangalore office and remaining days from my home. So it's not easy, it's definitely a challenge, but I embrace the challenge, and because of that, all the challenges, sometimes it makes me mad and sad, but that also made me a strongest version of myself, a tenacious person, I can say. And then somehow, if the situation doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. And in the grand life of theatre, sometimes we need to be the lead actor and not the extra. I have to be grateful to my family's support, faith, and also my relentless attitude. While I wrap up this ice-breaking session, let me leave you with my thoughts. If you are not ready to struggle for yourself, who will? Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Thank you, Toastmaster Kalaivani, for sharing your exciting journey. It was a fantastic speech. And now let's have a strategic timeout for 1 minute. And meanwhile, you can share your feedback to Kalaivani in the form. Thank you, timeout. So now it's time to go ahead with the second batter of this match, who is a very enthusiastic Toastmasters. Whenever you see, you get energized for sure. So I think you all guessed it. It's none other than Toastmaster Vani. And before calling the speaker on stage, I'd like to call the evaluator of Toastmaster Vani to read out, Toastmaster Calvin, to read out the speech objectives.
So my target speaker, Toastmaster Vani Ugin, is pursuing her level 2 project 1 in motivational strategies. The purpose of the project is to understand her communication style. So she has been learning about various communication style, and she has now understood her style, and here she is to perform. All the very best to my target speaker. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Now I'd like to call our Toastmaster Vani. Toastmaster Vani, the fangirl moment. The fangirl moment, Toastmaster Vani.
Have you ever fought for a ceiling fan? Sounds silly, right? So it was 2002, I was in my 8th standard, and I was studying in a very strict convent school where discipline was served for lunch, breakfast and dinner. Discipline comes before everything. So my building was called as elementary school building, where the classrooms are quite small. But we have another building called high secondary building. It was built during the British period, I think, because it was a very old building, but the classrooms were so big, but they had only one fan. And that, guess where that fan will be? Right above the teacher's head. And the first 2 rows were lucky enough to get the piece, but I was probably sitting on the last bench with my gang of friends. So my seniors addressed this issue of not having enough fan and air, but they got that sarcastic reply from the teachers and the sisters. Windows open panna taatho. Open the windows, you will get the piece. But if you open the window, you can see only the big compound wall. Or they will say, if you want fan, buy it yourself. There was a myth in our school. English medium students were always rich and Tamil medium students were always poor. One section of English medium and other sections will be Tamil medium. So I was born to rebel and I was tenacious. So I addressed this issue to my class teacher, to other teachers also, but I got the same reply. If you want, buy it yourself. So I wrote a letter to the assistant headmistress and I went with one of my other friends and we both went. She read that letter and saw us, oh, your parents are working in railways, your mother is a teacher, your mother is working in a private company, so you want to show off your richness. That's why you're doing this. And she threw that letter to the dustbin. That affected me a lot. But on that day evening, one of my favorite teachers, my PT teacher, called me and she said, Vani, today they may pull you down, they may mock at you because you are being different, but you are a deadly combination. I was like, what? She said, you have a bold voice and a kind heart, which we can't see in normal people. So don't let that voice die. Do it use that voice for others. So that word stuck me, that sentence stuck me. So the next day, I gathered all my classmates and they said, we are going to do a crowdfunding and we are going to buy a fan for ourselves because that's what they said. We bought a fan. But if you give me love, I will give you 2x. If you give me hatred, I will also give you the hatred 2x. So what I did, I gift wrapped the fan and I gifted that fan on the annual day stage to the headmistress. So everyone was at the peakest level of anger at me. So the after effects, I was constantly an outstanding student in my science class, maths class, English class, in all the classes. So one day my maths teacher called me and she said in front of all the Tamil medium students, you want to show off your richness, so you know how to buy a fan, but you don't know how to score marks because at that time my marks were very low. And she said, I bet you will not cross 300 out of 500 in the public exam. But I got 423 out of 500. And to my surprise, my other friend got schools first and district second. So these marks make them to slow a bit. So we were in 11th standard, some administration changes happened and our headmistress was changed. She called me to the office. My friends panicked because now only we are settling down after all the chaos, why she is calling you. But I was owning the place, so I went there. I said, no worries, I can handle her. To my surprise, she appreciated me for the first time. In the HM's office, I am getting appreciation. So I was like, why she's appreciating me? She said, you fought for a cause. So what I am going to do, from today onwards, I am giving an extra fan to all the classes, irrespective of the mediums, to this old building. That day, something changed, not in my school only, in me. Because if you have a voice, use it for others. My dear introverts or non-extroverts people, extroverts don't talk too much or too loud because they want to be listened, but they talk too much or too loud because they need to feel alive and they want to initiate conversation. They want to initiate communication. So please don't silence them. And my dear extroverts, if you are called as too much or too loud, smile and say to them, yes, I am too much, because too much is needed at least to buy a ceiling fan. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vani. So actually when I got the title from Vani, I thought she is going to speak about some IPL franchise which she is fan of, but I never thought it's about this fan. But it was an exciting and great speech, Toastmaster Vani. And now it's time for a timeout for another game. Thank you, timeout. So now we have the final batsman, and this person is actually really wise and he is a dedicated Toastmaster of our club. Before calling our batsman on stage, I'd like to call the bowler, who is Toastmaster Monish, to read out the speech objectives.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Hi, Toastmasters. After a brief break, my target speaker, Toastmaster Trivedhan, is doing level 3 project 2, focus on positive in his pathway presentation mastery. The purpose of the speech is to share their experience completing the project. Timer, please note. The timing for the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. And I wish all the very best to my target speakers or to the team.
Thank you, Monish, for beautifully explaining the speech objectives. Now it's time to call the last batsman, Toastmaster Trivedhan, on stage. So, Toastmaster Trivedhan, from swords to soreness, Toastmaster Trivedhan.
You can't be a warrior, you're too fat for this. This was a statement one of my cousins told me two months back. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a question before I come to the context of the statement. Have any one of you had a habit, a peculiar habit that you do it inside without anyone else knowing about it? Like singing at karaoke in the bathroom or dancing in front of a mirror? I'm sure many of you would have had it. Similarly, even I have a certain habit similar to that. See, whenever I see an umbrella or some sharp stick, what I do is, when there's no one around, I take it up. For example, I take it up, I pretend this is a sword, and then I use a shield and I start playing with this. Imagine I'm fighting a great war. I imagine that I'm fighting a great warrior and imagine myself in a play, or enacting it again and again in my mind when there is no one watching. It's a peculiar habit, I know, but I'm sure some of you would have had it when you were young. I think it harkens back to your childhood when everything was possible instead of being constrained by the reality today. See, I used to do it quite, not so frequently, but occasionally, until one of my relatives caught me doing this 2 months back. The thing about getting caught by relatives is that these people, you meet them once or twice in a year and they can be very judgmental. If it is your sister, they just rip at you, they mock you, and you in turn mock them back. Your family is the same, but getting mocked by people who barely meet, it kind of hurts. That, now coming back to the statement, this was what I was told. And during the entire time they were here, I was the main laughing stock of Sala. And it hurt me personally. I knew I had to do something for it. And turns out that I was indeed a bit fat. And to counter that, the only way I knew was to go to a gym. It was almost like when I joined Toastmasters. I knew I was bad at public speaking, I knew I had to do something. Similarly, I knew I was fat, I knew I had to go to the gym. So I immediately applied to a gym. Fast forward to the first day of my gym class, I was very, very excited. See, you've seen videos of doing lifting, all the bench presses and all these other equipments, and you get a bit excited. In fact, I was way too zealous than necessary. So I saw all these equipments, and instead of being the wise person and starting it from the beginning, I did everything post haste without any limits. I wanted to do every equipment, lifted the maximum weight I can, ran for more than 45 minutes, and so on and so forth. I spent 3 hours in a gym. It's way more than recommended for the first day. And then I felt satisfied. I returned home, and wow. First it was good. Nothing was happening. I was happy. Until I reached the midday. See, the thing about going to gym and working out is that it breaks your muscles. And when your muscles break, it starts aching. It starts slow, but then it increases substantially. That is what happened. By the end of the day, I could barely lift my arm to just ask for something. Mom, please get me a bottle of water. Mom, please give me a glass of something. It just became bad. So the next day, my mother asked me not to go to the gym. You know, Indian parents are very, very, very overprotective, isn't it? They start, I told you that day itself you should never go to a gym at all. This is too much for you. Why are you doing this? You've never worked out at all, and so on and so forth, blah, 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 blah. But I ignored it. It's all the process of grind. And this is what happens. third day, I went to the gym again. This time with a bit more research and a bit more caution. Instead of focusing on every body, I focused on a single organ, that is my legs. Once again, I didn't do the weights necessarily. I raised the weights, but I focused on a single organ. And oh boy, it came faster than the first day. My entire legs hurt. I could barely walk without vibrating. And by midday itself, see, the first day it went to the end of the day. The third day, by midday itself, I was shaking. I could barely crawl to my dining table. It was that bad. And then once again, a slew of negative comments started barraging on my way. And I was disheartened, which is obvious when you consider that everyone else around you is just being a negative influence in that aspect. I was almost tempted to quit until my father came to me and told me not to do it. See, he gave me an advice. He's not very much into gymming either, but he told me whenever he ventures into a new project, what he does is he first asks for experts' opinion. He asks, go find out an expert in the field, ask the person about what he does, how he does well, and the steps he's taken to do it. The second step is to master the basics. Don't go to the, don't expect to achieve high things in the beginning. Instead, focus on smaller aspects, try to master them, and then proceed slowly. With this, and yes, third point, to make a log of everything that you do. With this, I went on the 5th day. First thing I did, I made a gym room the first day itself. I got proper advice. I started slowly. Instead of taking on weights, I started with an empty barbell, no weights at all. Instead of focusing on the lifting, I focused on the form. Mastering the basics, that seems to be the better aspect, and I did that. It did not hurt that day as much as it did before. And I kept doing this again and again. I made a note of everything I did, and I made a plan for what I will be doing in each and every day for the upcoming 2 weeks. And it has been 2 months, I believe, almost 2 months. I've been doing this. I'm proud to say that I haven't reduced even a single kilo of weight, but I did get a bit of muscle that I'm very, very happy about. What I've learned from this, my dear friends and Toastmasters, is that, see, instead of focusing on achieving quickly, try to be tenacious, try to keep the momentum. Your momentum should be the focus of what you do. And you start with slow objectives and you go slowly to a greater heights. I think you'll achieve a lot more. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Trivedhan. I could relate to you very well when it comes to going to gym. So actually, I'm still, keeping a goal of going to gym itself. So let's have a strategic timeout for 1 minute. Thank you, timeout. So now, a quick question to all of you. So who is the winner of this IPL 2025? Okay, it was a pretty easy answer. Then who is the last year's winner? Kolkata. That's the correct answer. Okay. Now who is the 2023 winner?
Chennai.
Great. I think most people are being so active in IPL, so glad to know about this. And so now we have witnessed great speeches from our batsmen. And now we'll go ahead with the small drinks break for 10 minutes and we'll continue this match after that.